Good morning, everyone. All right, you're in my kitchen today, and I am making my favorite plant-based lasagna. So it's pretty simple, and so I wanted to share with you what I do. So first we're gonna make what I call the ricotta cheese, which is, of course, not cheese. So I use a big cube of tofu. I usually get the extra firm, but firm is just fine. And I just kind of crumble it up with my wooden spoon and get it all chunked up here. And I am going to add, I usually do about a half a lemon. So I already have one cut here, and I'm just gonna put it in here and squeeze some lemon juice right into that. That'll take care of that. And I like to get fresh parsley in there from my garden. Parsley is so good for you. So throw my greens in there. I have in here some nutritional yeast, which I just have the Bragg's. You can get it at any of the local grocery stores usually. There's some that are better than others. This one I happen to like. So I have a 1/4 cup of that in there. I have like a half a teaspoon of sea salt, 2 teaspoons of onion powder, organic onion powder, a teaspoon of organic garlic powder, and a teaspoon of oregano. So I'm gonna dump that in there. And this gives it that sort of cheesy flavor, if you will. So I kind of mix that all in. And this just makes a wonderful cheese substitute for your lasagna. Now, to make it super moist, I have a 1/4 cup of plant milk. You can use the plant milk of your choice. What I will say about plant milk is many of them that are on the market, please be a label reader. You do not want to use almond milk if it is not organic. And to take it a step further, if it's got like carrageenan or guar gum or any of those emulsifiers, not the best food for your gut. So I'm kind of a purist. I really like the unsweetened organic silk soy milk. There's also a couple of organic almond milks that I really like. So you can make your own and make it really clean. Just get some organic almonds or whatever plants you like. You can make your own oat milk. All right, this is looking pretty good. Very cheesy like. Okay, so the other ingredient that I so I'll show you this. Does that look like kind of like a ricotta? Anyways, all right, so the other thing I use is I get a couple of big jars of, I use about 4 cups, maybe 5. I like it kind of saucy. So I use my favorite jarred sauce. I am extracted oil free, so to talk about oils very briefly, I like keeping the whole oil, or the whole fat. So olives, I will eat whole olives, whole avocados, whole nuts and seeds, but I generally don't do olive oil or avocado oil. The one exception I do make is in a really good marinara. I just happen to like the one that does have the olive oil, so I'm not gonna chintz on flavor for this. So that is one thing I will eat, but if you find a good fat-free marinara, go for it. So usually what I do is I start by, I have a 9x13 pan here. I think it's 9x13. And I put a little sauce on the bottom, as you would with any lasagna. You'll notice I didn't use any oil in my pan. Generally, when you're not using cheese and other heavy fats, you don't need to use oils because stuff doesn't really stick. It's amazing. You give it a little soak and you're good to go. So I'm making this one a gluten-free one because gluten and I don't mix. So when you talk about gluten-free, I like to use Jovial because the ingredients, if you look on the back, is organic brown rice, flour, and water. That's it. That's all that's in this product, and I love it. I love simple, not overly processed foods. There's no junk in this one. It's free of milk, eggs, tree nuts, everything. I mean, it's a really clean product. So this is my go-to for my gluten-free. You have to be careful when you go to gluten-free products because they often will have added sugars and added salts and all kinds of other stuff that just isn't the best for your body. So yeah, I'm a bit of a purist. But anyway, so I'm gonna add some of these noodles. I usually do like 3 across. I'm not even cooking them. Usually I do because I like it pretty soft, but I'll just give this a little bit of an extra bake. So I am going to add some of my lovely ricotta cheese here, my plant-based cheese. We're gonna put some of that in there. I usually just add a little bit on each noodle as I go. The other thing you can do as you're making this particular dish is you can veg it up. Now I'm keeping it simple today to show you how quick this comes together. But you can use sliced zucchini, sliced eggplant, portobello mushrooms if you're a mushroom eater. Now to give it sort of that meaty texture, one of the things that I love, and I buy them in bulk, is sun-dried tomatoes. And I package them in small packages and put them in the freezer. And then I pull them out and I put boiling hot water over them to make them soft so I can cut them into like thin little strips like this. So what I do is I sprinkle a few of those on there. It kind of gives it that texture, that, I don't know, chewy, meaty texture. And oh my gosh, sun-dried tomatoes are one of the best secrets for flavor. So I have that in there. And then I have some fresh basil from my garden that I chopped. I pre-chopped this, so I'm throwing that in there. I'm going to add a little more here. Okay, then we're going to, oh, and the other thing, I think I did, this is optional. I had made this yesterday. It is a kale, basil, pumpkin seed pesto. So I'm gonna actually throw a few dollops of this in here per layer because it just gives it that, oh, yummy, garlicky, I love garlic. So I don't know, I added a couple of teaspoons to each noodle, and now I'm gonna add some more sauce. You know the drill, just keep building the layers, and we'll keep doing this until we get to the top, and then I'll show you how I top it off. So I'm just gonna kind of squish that all down. Oh, it's looking yummy already. Yep, we got company coming for dinner. So, all right, 3 more noodles. And of course, when you put the noodle on, you just kind of squish everything down. So don't worry about spreading everything perfectly. All right, more of the cheese. So yeah, I just finished my 30-day reset, and oh my gosh, what a fabulous experience that was for me. I feel like $1 million. I'm 7 pounds lighter, just feeling so good. So yeah, it was great. And these aminos, I'll tell you, I'm definitely a lifer. You know, my nails, my hair, my skin, everything. I mean, at 60, honestly, I feel like I'm 30 most of the time. I'm always on the go. So it's just awesome. And fueling yourself with wonderful plant foods doesn't mean deprivation. It means just a glorious, good feeling body that you can constantly be on the go. I mean, I'm just usually the Energizer Bunny. I haven't even had, all I've had today is a glass of water and my aminos because I like to take them on an empty stomach. I haven't even had a cup of my green tea yet. So, okay, well that takes care of that. Let's put on some more sauce. We're getting there, guys. Yep, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cover it, throw it in the fridge, and when I'm ready to bake it, I'll take it out like an hour before I'm gonna bake it. And then I'll keep it covered when I put it in the oven. And because I don't like using foil, so I will use parchment paper over this, then cover it with foil and put it in the oven for probably about 50 minutes covered. And then I'll take it out of the oven and uncover it. Well, I won't take it out. I'll just uncover it and I will leave it in there probably another 10 minutes. Make sure it gets a little bit, you know, browned on top and looking good. Okay, so we finished off our ricotta. Let's get every little bit of that goodness. Don't like to leave anything behind here. All right, more sun-dried tomatoes. Yeah, and then you let it sit for a few minutes and then cut it up into pieces. I'd say I'd get 6 to 8 servings out of this, which is perfect. And you know, most of my friends are meat eaters and I totally respect that. You know, even while on the cleanse, you know, they suggest 30 days doing a plant-based diet. But I have had some folks that have a hard time giving it up. So what I tell them to do is just, you know, make for dinner, you know, have 1 piece of lean chicken or fish and make that your side dish. And 3/4 of your plate should be veggies, you know, really lovely, gorgeous vegetables. Ooh, I'm gonna use all this up. This is gonna be so tasty. I can't wait. All right, that looks good. I'm gonna give it a little more sauce here. And we'll put our top layer on. And I'll show you my vegan Parmesan cheese. It's so much fun. So I have a very old coffee grinder that I've had for decades. All right, so first we're gonna put the rest of this sauce on. Okay. I kind of used a little more sauce on top, but that's okay. It'll still be delicious. Okay, so here's my old coffee grinder. Get ready for a little noise. So in this, I have about a 1/4 cup of, well actually, no, I'm sorry, a tablespoon of nutritional yeast, that same thing I showed you earlier, which kind of gives it that cheesy flavor. I have a 1/4 cup of raw organic cashews that I keep in the fridge to keep them from getting rancid. And then I have 1/2 teaspoon of garlic powder and a pinch of sea salt. And what I do is I'm just going to put this on. Bear with me for the noise. Yep, come on. All right, stand by. Oh boy, she's not wanting to cooperate. My old little coffee grinder. Well, we may have to resort to another method. But anyways, this is how you make your Parmesan cheese, which you top it off and it just gives it that lovely look. And then when it comes out of the oven, I'm going to add more chopped fresh parsley. So my friends, that is the lasagna. I'll post a finished picture in the comments. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.